Cause it's true, no, everything they say about me. I'll love you like a supernova, burned into you like a shooting star. Always craving for you to come to me, though this way of life, no, it ain't healthy. But ain't no other way, it's just what I need. I want all your soul, I want your body. I'm the type that licks her play clean. Don't wanna let out, one of you can eat. If you gave me your whole life, I would still have room for more. Cause I've got that appetite. Baby, I never feel whole. You might get me through the night, but it will never be enough. It will never be enough. Cause I'm a black girl for your love. Your love. Cause I'm a black girl for your love. Cause it's true, no, everything they say about me. I'll love you like a supernova, burn into you like a shooting star. If you give me your whole life, I would still have room for more. Cause I've got that appetite. Baby, I never feel whole. You might get me through the night, but it will never be enough. It will never be enough. Cause I'm a black girl for your love. I'm a black girl for your love.
Oh no, that is what they all say when they see me pouring some wine. Oh, think it's empty again. Better fill it up before I go. Cause I'm loving it, feeling it, touch me and being it. See what I see in it, I'm typical. Messing around with it, mix it up, go with it, fuck with it, flow with it, let it all go. Oh Lord, think you know what I'm like, but you don't fall, you lose control. Bittersweet melody when I dance on your fly. Cause I know what you don't, it is me you adore. How does it feel to breathe when you're dead? They never seen you out of your bed. Cut to the bone, it's broken up red. How sad. Oh boy, got so hot I forgot what I should have thought of before. Sure ain't easy for you to let off the rules, cause there's so much fun. Are you loving it, feeling it, touch me, are you in it, don't see what you're seeing, but typical, messing around with it.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome along to TTML Division 2. We are here for the final round of the season. It is Season 4, Round 10 of the Championship, as we take in the American Grand Prix. Sorry, not the American Grand Prix, from the Singapore Grand Prix, from the Marina Bay Street Circuit. My name is James. I'm going to be taking you through the stream, as always. A rookie error there for me. And joining me in the comment box, as always, it is Mr. Michael Edwards. Mike, how you doing?
I am doing great, and I'm kind of glad you didn't say Yas Marina this time.
Oh, goodness me. Do you know what it was? I was looking at the standings that said America on it. That's what it was. But, of course, coming into tonight, we are here, of course, in Singapore, not in America. That was, of course, last week. It was CR7 who took the win last night, of course. Jack in second and TDB in third. What did that do to the championship standings, I hear you ask? Well, we said at the end of last week's stream it was going to be 1 point between them both. It is not. TDB got awarded a penalty. CR7 leads the championship on 181 points. TDB in second on 167. 14 points separating. So basically, CR7's got to win. TDB, I think, has got to finish maybe fifth or below to win the championship here tonight. Isotopic third as well, tied with Nosy on 140. Mad Jonas in fifth on 128. Element sixth on 119. Wesker seventh on 114. Jorgen eighth on 100. Jonas in ninth on 91. And Vettel in 10th on 79 points. And Mike, CR7 has got a 14-point advantage, as I've just said, coming into tonight's race. TDB going to be joining late because of a lack of practice. Is it CR7's championship, or can TDB try and pull something out the fire?
I mean, anything is possible here at Singapore. The walls can be incredibly unforgiving if you get a little bit too close to them. But yeah, a 14-point gap. I mean, even if TDB was to get pole position, which would be 2 extra points into his bank account there, he would still need CR7 to finish fifth, and he would have to win the race to actually take it purely on points.
Yeah, to be honest, I think it is going to be an interesting night in terms of what we're going to be seeing out on track. I think CR7, this track is made for him. It should be really interesting to see. Looking at the rest of the standings, of course, we have, so I get them up again, Cam in 11th on 70 points, Funky Chicken in 12th on 69, A Beauty Boy 13th on 64, Sway 14th on 60, Callboy 15th on 58. He's not racing tonight, and as for Ty from League Racing until the new game, Matt Dibble 16th on 50, Jack in 17th on 37, Magnus 18th on 34, F1 AMG in 19th on 26, and Special in 20th on 23 points. And Mike, the constructors' battle is even closer than the drivers.
Yeah, it's not as close at the top end as it would have been if everything stayed the same without the stewards' inquiries, but still 11 points separating the top 4 teams, and it's going to be incredibly tight as we got, I believe it is the Ferraris, the Alfa Romeos, the McLarens, and the Hasses.
If you did that without looking at the constructor standings, well done, because they are the top 4 constructors in the championship. Haas leading on 242 points, Alfa Romeo second on 240, McLaren in third, tied with Ferrari on 231. But the championship permutations are so difficult, I don't think we're going to probably calculate that up going into tonight's racing. Mercedes in fifth on 180, Williams in sixth on 164, Red Bull seventh on 153, AlphaTauri eighth on 118, Racing Points in ninth on 72, and Renault in 10th on 60 points. Haas has got a 2-point advantage, but as you said, it's 11 points separating the top 4 in the constructors. Anybody's game.
Yeah, absolutely. And obviously, last time out, we saw both of the Hasses of CR7 and Vettel get some very strong points. But for most of the season, the most consistent teams have been the Alfa Romeos and the Ferraris, with both of them getting pretty decent points. When it comes to like Haas and McLaren, it's usually been CR7 and TDB getting the bulk of that team's points. So it begs the question, are we going to see CR7 and TDB backed up by their teammates this week, or are we going to see the consistency of Alfa Romeo and Ferrari working as a team, getting some good team points together? Will they come through and snatch it at the end of tonight?
Yeah, you'd imagine, to be honest. I think in terms of the consistency we've seen so far this season, in terms of the constructors, yeah, Ferrari, I think, have been probably one of the most consistent. However, Tionas has dropped away in the last 2 races. He hasn't really performed in the last 2 races, so you could see that as Ferrari maybe just losing the will. Jorgen Noisy in the Alfa Romeo They've been consistent as well. They get caught up in incidents, though. It's going to be anybody's game, I think, is what we're trying to say in terms of the Constructors' battle. 4 Constructors going into it. 16 drivers are ready for the lobby. Yes, there might be football on at this moment in time, but credit where credit's due to 16 drivers turning up to Division 2 tonight. I know Tom, our graphics man, is going to be watching the Holland game in the background as well. I'll just put that there live on stream. And hopefully it is going to be really interesting to see how all of this is going to unfold out on track. Commentators is going to be by himself, it looks like, as well for Division 3. So go and show him some love. It's the final race of the championship for that. And 10 races, apparently, that is going to be driving around in Singapore. We've got 16 here, of course, in Division 2. But anybody's game going into the championship finale. And it's going to be really interesting.
Yeah, absolutely. And as you said, go show Commentators a bit of love, and he's on his ones over there. Go show him some love.
I believe the stream hasn't started yet, if I'm not mistaken. I don't think the Division 3 stream has started. We are live, of course, here in Division 2. Noisy and Menno, by the way, in the comment section, just reading some of the comments here as well. Menno saying, great game and organisation. Well, thank you, Menno. It is all of these drivers and it's all of the organisation around us, my fellow commentators, to Mike as well, and to all the admins, really, that put this together. Without these guys running it and without us as commentators running it, there wouldn't be TTML. It's as simple as that. And I thank each and every one of you, no matter who you are, for turning up, either racing or watching these streams. It is valuable that we carry this forward into the new game for F1 2021. And hopefully, we're going to be providing you with the action, of course, out on track. Who cares if Holland's on against Austria? We've got TTML action, we've got a championship battle, and 30-second countdown has just begun.
Yep, there's just over 20 seconds to go until we get into the final round here. And God, look, has TDB joined? Yes, he has. But just looking for the Ferrari, and I don't think Tionis is in the lobby.
No, he's not turning up. I think he put in the absence chat in Discord that he wasn't going to be attending tonight, which is a shame. But are you ready? I'm ready. We are ready. Here we go then. For the final time in TTML, it is now time for qualifying. Welcome along, everyone, to TTML. We are here for Season 4 action, Round 10 of the Championship, as we take in the Singapore Grand Prix from the Marina Bay Street Circuit. Yes, no, yes, Marina, in my commentary intro here. 3 compounder tyres, of course, out on track. They are the C5, C4 and C3 compounder tyres. To you and me, that's the softs, mediums and the hards. And they are very long-lasting tyres, of course, the hards around here. One stop is possible. We remain to be seen how that is going to unfold, of course, out on track. And looking ahead, hopefully it is going to be fantastic racing. My track introduction, by the way, has just stopped on my iPad, which is terrible. But of course, around here at Singapore, we've got a great track to unfold you. I'm going to get the traditional track map up, and it's 5 kilometres in length with the 3 DRS ons, one down the start-finish straight, one down in towards turn number 7, one down in towards turn 14. Should be a very interesting night in terms of the action as we come on to the action now. 16 drivers, nobody left the pit lane, but it's bone dry in qualifying, which is perfect.
Yeah, last thing anyone here would want is wet conditions in qualifying or in the race, to be fair. This track already difficult enough in the dry with the walls so unforgiving. In the wet is a whole nother story, as I believe we have a hasp on the way out of the pit lane, and oh, it's actually Funky Chicken.
That's a very funky looking Haas that's coming out the pit lane. That wasn't a pun. That was not a pun intended, by the way, either. Funky Chicken is at the pit lane first. He's on a set of soft compounder tyres, as we'll get the detail up for you, and he's on a set of softs, as you can see. Plenty of drivers that look like they might be selecting the medium compounder tyres, but Funky Chicken is the first man out on track. Of course, he's going to be the lobby host for the charity night that is going to be hosted, of course, on Sunday for Great Ormond Street Hospital. Tune in for that. It is starting at just before 6:30 UK time. We are pretty much running in sync with some of the Euro matches if they're on Sunday, but a fantastic cause, and I'm sure you're going to be supporting it throughout the night of racing. We've got two lobbies, Lobby 1 and Lobby 2, and I'm commentating on Lobby 1 alongside Pepsi Freak. Lobby 2 is Luke Etheridge and Cadwell taking you through the action. Funky Chicken, though, first man out on track, just through the Singapore Sling, onto the Anson Bridge. And Mike, let's just talk through this track, because if you get close to the walls, you'll probably end up either spinning or with damage.
Yeah, this track is all about building confidence. You want to get a nice lap in to begin with, and then build up your confidence towards the end of qualifying. That's when you're really going to be pushing the limit on getting as close to the wall as possible. Very easy to just nip a little bit of your front wing off by just running a little bit deep into the corner as we come now underneath the bridge towards the end of the lap, and Funky Chicken's going to be taking us on a flying lap. So over to you, James.
Yeah, Funky Chicken is then coming through the final two corners, through turn 22 and then through turn 23 on the run towards the start-finish line. And now sets about on this lap, reaching nearly 200 mile an hour down and towards turn 1, then through turn 2 and then through the left-hander at turn 3, of course, where Ocon and Perez hit each other just a couple of years ago. Bit of a slide there coming down at turn 3, now in towards turn 4, and then down the road in towards Memorial Corner at turn 7, through turn 5, and now through the kink at 6, in towards turn number 7, and this is Memorial Corner. They're coming up towards the end of the first sector. It's 26.3 through the first sector from Funky Chicken. One's out wide coming through turn 7, now through in towards turn 8, and then into the tricky left-hander at turn 9. If you get a bit of oversteer here, you are pretty much going to end up back-facing into the wall, but Funky Chicken takes that very nicely. On the run down in towards the Singapore Sling was a 26.2 actually through the first sector according to the task system. Through the Singapore already been on. Through the middle sector, 36 flat. CR7, 25.9 in the first sector. We'll be watching that with bated breath out on track, but now in towards turn 16 and 17, where PK Gate will of course cause here in Singapore in 2008, and now in towards turns 18 and 19 underneath the grandstand, and then underneath the underpass coming in towards turns 20 and 21. This next right and left cambered corner, very nice indeed through there. Now into the water final double left at turns 22 and 23. That is a lap of Singapore. Funky Chickens to the line. That's a 1:33.7 to start off the night.
Yep, 33.7, a decent lap there from Funky Chicken. However, I believe the championship leader CR7 is going quick. As I see Isotopic there in the middle sector with a 35.9, fastest middle sector so far there from the Ferrari, going it alone tonight. Teammate, of course, not here. It's going to make his job harder when it comes to the constructors battle. Well, we've seen Isotopic up to the sharp end plenty of times this season, and he could pull off a fantastic performance here.
Yeah, Matibos invalid 35.9 through the middle sector. Isotopic to the line goes quickest at 1:33.6, so he's just a tenth and a half quicker than Funky Chicken. Not many lap times in, just the 2 at the minute, just the 3 now, with Jorg setting at 1:33.9 on a set of mediums. Isotopic on top, Funky Chicken second, Jorg in third. Matibos invalidated coming through the middle sector. Jack has just started up on a lap. Noisy has invalidated, I believe, just through turn 1. In fact, I think he's just came off a lap at 1:34.4. That would have been, was an invalid lap. Sway coming across the Anderson Bridge section, looking good through the first sector. He's 26 flat, one of the quickest first sectors so far. Matt Tibos 35.9 in the middle sector. Hopefully he's going to be setting a good lap time now as well. Sway through the middle sector, 36.1. So he's there or thereabouts in terms of the sector times that we've seen so far through the middle sector. Isotopic on top, Funky Chicken second, Jorgen third. F1 AMG and Beauty Boy also came in with laps there, 4th and 5th. Sway though in towards turn 18, then through turn 19, getting very close to the wall there on the left hand side, through the right hand side now of 19, and now through the turns 20 and 21 in towards the double left. Goodness me, that was a Tokyo drift right there, or Singapore drift maybe. Sway coming around the final corner, comes to the line, he backs off the lap. Not confident that he would get top 10 because he backs off the lap at 1:34 flat, puts him into 4th.
Yeah, and I was also going to bring this up as well. I was on board with Isotopic as he crossed the line. Looked like he backed off at the end as well. So maybe these guys, maybe not wanting to get their best laps done on the softs, maybe just leaving a bit of room that they may find a bit of an improvement on a set of the mediums in the latter stage of the session.
Yeah, mediums I think are probably the better tide to be on in terms of Singapore. It's a very high tide degradation around here. It's something like 6-7% a lap on a set of softs, 5 to 6% on a set of hards. You can really tell the difference between some of these. Matt Tibos, I think you were on board with me there, with Matt Tibos invalidated coming through the final corner, and he came across the line. It would have been in 134.1, so he would have went into 5th. TDB is on a lap, and actually he's not on a lap, he's coming into the pit lane. Absolutely typical to be right on board with the man who could wrap up the championship here tonight. CR7, of course, is on a night lap as well, as my graphics say that he's on a set of mediums, but he's not. He's on a set of softs, and it looks like CR7 is going to try and set a very good lap time early on in this session.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see if CR7 follows suit with the likes of Sway and Isotopic and backing off their laps at the end. But right now, I mean, would you be thinking about, if you were CR7, would you just go for pole position, get those extra 2 points on the softs, or would you favour mediums for the race?
If I was CR7, I'd try and get the fastest lap in qualifying. He runs out the final corner, comes towards the line, invalidate the final corner.
Yeah, invalid this and next lap for CR7, unfortunately for him, as he was just about to get his lap underway. He just exceeded the track limits as PewDieBoy, I believe, is on a flying lap as, yeah, Jack into the pit. So actually, no, PewDieBoy is not on a flying lap, and no one out on track is, I believe.
Yeah, I think Cam might be the nearest one to actually send a lap. He's coming through the Singapore sling. He's on a night lap, and he actually put a really good comment in, actually, in the stream. Guys, even though I've been incredibly bad this season, lol, it's been great listening to you commentate now races. Top job from you both. Loved it. Absolutely fantastic comment there from Cam. As well, echoed there by Joe Callboy. That, of course, is Callboy. Best of luck, Sway. Good luck, James, Tom, and Mike. Thank you for the support. Without you guys, of course, there wouldn't be TTML. We are halfway through qualifying. It's Isotopic on top, Funky Chicken second, Yog in third. No real change to the order if you are just tuning in. You can show, of course, Division 3 a little bit of love as well. Commentators is taking you through the action. Aiden Carter, of course, taking you through that. They are live, so you can watch that. And Aiden is commentating by himself. 13 drivers there for Division 3 as Cam sets us up on a lap on a set of mediums.
Yeah, and CR7, he's actually been going for it on this lap, even though it's invalid. I think he was just trying to see what he could do in the sectors as he peels off into the pits. And yeah, if I was CR7, I probably would have just crossed the line just to have that lap delta there.
Yeah, I think CR7, it would have been a good time. Of course, he picked up a list and next lap invalidated. Cam, by the way, through the first sector, looking quite quick through the first sector. And I'm just trying to see. Oh, yeah, he's invalid actually through the first sector. So he is not on the lap, and that's just part and parcel of this track, I think. Mad Jonas is on the lap, I think.
Yeah, Mad Jonas just starting his lap now as he heads down towards turn 5, looking for a nice exit, but he has also invalidated, and we're seeing this quite a lot now.
What is it with people and invalidating around here in Singapore? It's part and parcel, I think, of every commentary that I do around here. Always on a lap, people invalidate, and we don't get many times in. I mean, we're halfway through qualifying. Isotopic, Funky Chicken, Yo, those were lap times that were set earlier on in the session. Just to put it that way, Carbon Mob is on a lap. He's coming in toward the end of the middle, through the middle sector now. Of course, he's a reserve. The Welshman, nearly at the wall, I think, coming out of turn 8 there. Through to now turn 9. 26 flat through the first sector is there or thereabouts with the fastest we've seen so far tonight. So the Welshman, of course, following in footsteps of Turkey, getting defeated by Wales last night, I should say, in the Euros. It's Isotopic on top, Funky Chicken second, Yorg in third. Carbon Mob, though, misses the curve coming through turn 13, tries to force the car to get the traction on the exit. Through the middle sector he comes to 36.3. It's there or thereabouts, isn't it, Mike?
Yeah, it's thereabouts, and I just noticed Isotopic out on the mediums now, so and the Sway as well. So my thoughts of them maybe backing off the soft laps to get a lap in on the mediums was completely correct. But yeah, Carbon Rob, he is there or thereabouts as he comes towards now the final 2 corners. Needs to keep this one valid, and he does so lovely stuff, and up into 6th, which at the moment it looks like a lot of guys just can't get a lap on the board. So as long as he's got a lap there, happy days.
TDB's going. Yeah, sorry, I was just nearly cut you off there. TDB's going quick. 25.8 through the first sector, 36 flat. This could be the quickest session of the night. TDB to the line. Oh, he goes second, 133.689. I dare not make a prediction, by the way, in terms of qualifying around here, because qualifying can be quite sparse in terms of what we get in terms of the lap times. But if I was, as Jorg just comes in there with a 133 flat, I was going to say around a 132.6 maybe on a set of softs for the quickest guys out on track.
The Funky Chicken up in the second now with a 33.2. And yeah, I mean, this track at the moment, it seems to be catching everyone out with the track limits. So I'm not sure if we're going to get many people actually dialed in to the track as they would have liked. But for CR7, if I was him, I would be pushing as madly as I could. Almost as mad as Mad Jonas is right now in the final sector that he has just invalidated his lap time. But he's got to push mad because that extra 2 points that he could get from just having pole position here would be insurmountable odds for TDB to really come back at him.
CR7, 25.8 through the first sector. Very, very quick through the first sector from CR7. And now he comes through turn 9. He's got to lay it all on the line here. If he wants to pick up those 2 points, I should say, out on track for pole position, this is the time to do it. With everyone beginning to improve on their lap times, this is the time as he nearly gets caught onto the Anderson Bridge section. But coming into the hairpin, this is a very quick lap from CR7. LMN has left the session. He was on a quick first sector on his previous lap. CR7, though, coming into the end of the middle sector, well, he's purple again. It's a 35.7 through the middle sector from CR7. And now he has got to put it all on the line for Jorg. Maybe getting around the 132.5 mark? I don't know. CR7 in towards then, passing the maroon on the right-hand side, through turn 18, underneath the grandstand at 19, then through turn 20. Thought he was invalid there, actually. A little bit of a slow exit through 20 and 21. Very close to the wall, and then runs in towards the final 2 corners out on track. And CR7 runs to the line. It's not a 132.5, but it is a 132.8. Good lap time by CR7, and he puts it to the top of the timing sheets.
Yep, the gauntlet has been thrown down now from CR7, and TDB is going to need to respond. Of course, we got Jorg up there in second place. Isotopic there in fourth. So in terms of the constructors battle, well, we're looking at the guys towards the back, PewDiePie, Vettel and Noisy. What are they going to do to get themselves up the order to back their teammates up to get this constructors win?
Yeah, CR7 for Haas, Jorg for Alfa Romeo as well. In fact, we've got the top 4 constructors pretty much, apart from TDB. Neither of the top 4 constructors, 3 of the top 4 are basically the constructors in the constructors battle. So that's really good to see. Cam is on a lap as well. He's coming through turn 16 and 17 now. I think we've got Vettel and Matt Tibos, and I think Cam's actually just invalidated coming through the middle sector through turn 17. Of course, PK corner, as I like to know on it. CR7 out on top, Jorg second, Funky Chicken in third. Nobody really on laps. Both Matt Tibos and Mad Jonas invalidated, which means we've got no one out on track. But just a comparison in terms of the sector times. Fastest first and middle sector was CR7. Fastest final sector was Jorg, a 32.238. It was a 31.281 from CR7, so he's only 500th of a second off Jorg's fastest sector, but he's still 0.2 quicker than him.
Yeah, and this is where it's going to be won or lost in this battle for pole position, because you can see in the second sector especially, CR7 able to carry the speed through the likes of turn 7, 8, 9 and over the Anderson Bridge and into 13. We saw the exit he got out of turn 13 of the hairpin. It was such a smooth exit, and if Jorg or TDB are going to try and snatch this pole position, they're going to need equally a smooth middle sector as what CR7 had.
Well, I'm telling you now, CR7 is not going to get another lap time in. He's only past the grandstand now. He's run out of fuel. He's through the grandstand section at turn 19. And by the time he comes into the pit lane, it's going to be dead on 1 minute and 32 seconds basically left for CR7 to get out on track. So CR7 will have to retire in the pit lane, unless there's a timing glitch, which I don't think there is because there's so many drivers now on outlap. CR7 will not be getting the lap time in. And I mean, 1 minute 32 seconds is basically just through the left-hander at 32, at turn 22, not 32, through turn 23, and CR7, now into the pit lane, he cannot improve, so be hoping that Jorg and Funky Chicken and the likes don't improve either.
Yeah, and also Vettel in the pits as well, along with LMN and Mad Jonas, so they're not going to be improving on their time as well. I can see Matt Tibbos, he's cutting it very close in terms of time, as Carwin Roberts just invalidated on his lap, so that's his session over and done with.
Jack coming through turn 2 in the Renault as well. He's now through turn 3 and then run in towards turn number 4. CR7 out on top. Jorg in second, Funky Chicken in third. Jorg has just started off on a lap as well. Jack, who had a very good qualifying in America, let's see what he can do out on track. A 33.8 currently. He's now through the end of the first sector. And his first sector to 26 flat, which is not too bad. Through the first sector, he's about 2/10 off CR7's personal best first sector. Mad Jonas has retired from the session as well. So with 30 seconds to go, everyone couldn't have fine for their final laps. But Jack now on a lap, running down in towards turns 8 and turn 9, through in towards Singapore Sling at turn 10, and then across the Anderson Bridge in through 11. Very close to the wall through 11, through 12, just degraded the speed slightly, now through turn 13. Looking very nice indeed. I think Matt Tibbos is going to be fine, by the way, to set a lap time. And with 8 seconds to go, he has just started up on his lap. Jack then, in toward the end of the middle sector. Green, middle sector, 36.1. Green, first sector from everyone pretty much as well. Noisy, 25.8 through the first sector. Probably the quickest we've seen. As Jack now comes through turn number 17. Passing the Marine on the right-hand side. Through turn 18. Through turn 19, what's Jorg doing on his lap? He's not improving through the first and middle sector at all, Jorg, so I don't think he's going to get pole position. Jack now through the final couple of corners, though. Through 22 and 23, a Pewdie Boy has crashed out the session, I believe. Jack across the line goes 6th. Colin Robb has retired from the session as well. Jorg through in toward the final sector, though, through 20 and now through 21. He is now going to be the man to try and improve on this lap. Comes through the final corner, invalidates through turn 22. It's disastrous for Jorg. Doesn't improve in the end. Funky Chicken is purple middle sector.
Yeah, and he's over at 10 foot, so Funky Chicken could get himself onto the front row, and if he finds the time in the final sector, he could potentially get himself on pole position, and that would be a big boost for TDB, who is now out of the session, as we got Isotopic improving now up into third place. Here comes Funky Chicken this way up into third.
Funky Chicken across the line, goes third! He goes third, and look at how close it is between second and fifth out on track. Matt Tibbos is the only man out there. He's still on the lap through 20 and 21. 36.8 through the middle sector. Don't think he's on a flying lap. He want to set us off through the final corner. Matt Tibbos backs off. He's not going to be improving. It's CR7 on top. 2 points go to him. Gap now extends to 16 points. So that's basically now first to fourth. TDB's got to finish fourth. And CR7 has got to win out on track to be crowned the champion. But look at how tight the top 5 are. CR7 out on top. It's a 10th and a half nearly to Jorg. But Jorg all the way down to Isotopics, covered by 500ths of a second. Jorg in second, Funky Chicken third, Sway in fourth, and Isotopic in fifth. Noisy in sixth, F1 AMG 7th, TDB in eighth, Jack in ninth, Carwin Rob 10th, Matt Tibbos in 11th, a Pewdie Boy 12th, Vettel 13th, Mad Jonas 14th, Element and Cam not getting lap times in both for the Red Bull and the Mercedes. But we are set up for a really interesting race now. CR7 on top, TDB in 8th position. This is going to be quite interesting, I think. TDB does not want to be down in that position at all.
Yeah, and I just want to quickly correct you on the maths. And it is 16 points, but TDB would need to win the race with CR7 6th, or, well, you need CR7 to finish 7th or below, but 6th if TDB can get fastest lap.
There has been a little bit of confusion in terms of the commentary, by the way, for Division 3. Paco apologising for not making it alongside Aiden, but that doesn't mean that Aiden will do a good job. I know he will there in Division 3. Go and show him some love from the Division 2 stream. Tell him I sent you. He'll get it. Wow. He should get it anyways. Singapore, and have you spotted something that we might have not necessarily... Is it raining?
No. I was just hurt that you're taking a look at it. Like, I was just hurt.
I thought when you reacted, I thought it was like heavy rain out on track, and I was just going to come back to heavy rain. It's not. It's dry. So don't get don't get your ears tested. Don't get your eyes tested. You could get your ears tested if you wanted to, but don't get your eyes tested. I do not need my eyes testing. It is dry out on track as we now come for the final round of the season, and hopefully going to be a very interesting race. It looks like though Elemen has just left the session, if I'm not mistaken. I can't see his name on the right-hand side, at least, and we're loading, and I get a sense of deja vu, I think, here.
Yeah, did we have this last season with Singapore, last time we was here? I think we did, didn't we?
We had it in Division 4, I think, 2 weeks ago, if I'm not mistaken, where we had to restart like twice, and then, obviously, third time's a charm. LMN, if you're listening, you've got to leave the session, my friend. You've got to restart the game and then rejoin, and hopefully that won't kick us out the lobby if you do that. And that's to counteract the error. Of course, there's been a game update as well in the last 2 days or so, so hopefully this is not going to be a sign of things to come maybe tonight. But in the meantime, we'll try and keep you entertained as much as possible around here at the Marina Bay Street Circuit in Singapore. Capital of Singapore is Singapore, as we've got a migrating host, which means I'm now going to quickly quit to the menu so I don't get a blue screen, and we'll carry on with this stream running on. But of course, around here at the Marina Bay Street Circuit, the capital of Singapore is
Marina Bay.
No.
No, I was just saying
The capital of Singapore is Singapore. Yeah.
I mean, it's like Mexico or Mexico City. You know, it's a standard capital name.
I know, if that's not enough to confuse you, then I don't know what is, to be honest. Of course, but I'm commentating through Tom's account, so you're seeing Tom's end at the minute in terms of the stream. I'm sure he's got the graphics running as well in the background. But hopefully it is going to be really interesting to see how this race is going to unfold. I'm sure we'll get the lobby invites out very soon indeed to try and get us back underway here in Division 2. And it's typical, absolutely typical, that we have an error on the final race of the season. But hopefully we're going to see some really good racing out on track. The Tom, by the way, saying the chicken with the German flag. Of course, relating to Funky Chicken, I think, there. Funky Chicken is not German, by the way. I believe he's British.
I mean, what kind of British? There's plenty of kinds of British.
He's British. I don't know where he's from. I've spoken to him once, and that was yesterday, and that was just to Adam for Sunday's charity event. Of course, that's going to be taking place, and we can actually do that a little bit. We can actually sponsor that up a little bit and try and build it up going into Sunday night. Of course, Mike, you're going to be racing in in Lobby 1 with me commentating, of course, alongside Pepsi Freak. A fantastic cause, Mike, of course. Great Ormond Street Hospital down there in London. They've been hit hard, I think, by this pandemic, and they need our support. And our race night, I'm sure, is the best way to counteract that. Hopefully, going to be really good, and hopefully you will give generously to a great, great cause. If you haven't heard of it, Great Ormond Street Hospital, please search it up. They do awe-inspiring work for young children, no matter what age, and it's just a great, great charity to be a part of, and it's a great thing to be doing this race night, and all thanks to Maze for putting it together. And hopefully, we are going to have the best action in Lobby 1, even though Mike is driving them there.
What are you trying to say?
I'm just trying to say you've got competition in Lobby 1.
It's no competition. I'm about 10 seconds off their pace.
10 seconds off the pace. Goodness me. I think I've heard that one before somewhere. I think.
Yeah, but you know when I...
Oh, you're lagging a little bit there, Mike.
I said when I say it is actually factual.
Factual. I'll believe it when I see it.
Like when I said Wales were gonna get through the group stage into the Euros.
Excuse me. I said that first, I think.
I believe I called all the games so far.
Yeah, in the behind-the-scenes chat that we were having last week before the race, we were literally said, "Oh, what do we think Wales is going to do in the Euros?" And I said they would get through the group stage. I didn't say what result, but however, Mike has came out and said they'll draw with Switzerland, which they did, and then they'll beat
Turkey. Which they did. It's incredible. Whenever I don't put money on the football, I get absolutely spot on.
Jack as well, by the way, in the comment section, he's just putting a great comment there in the YouTube comment section.
It's not.
Whilst,
It's not. It's not. I just
it
seen
is.
it.
No, I was talking about the other one above it. Whilst we wait, thanks guys for this season. I've thoroughly enjoyed it, and I hope to continue next season. Thank you for the brilliant commentating, and thank you, Maze, for the opportunity. Well, thank you for Jack for racing. Fantastic, fantastic racer, of course. Hopefully, going to be doing some of the business out on track tonight as well. And it is coming home. We have to believe we beat Croatia on Sunday, and now against Scotland, we're going to absolutely drub them tomorrow night.
It's not coming home.
It is. Just believe it is.
I will not believe. I refuse.
He will not believe because he's a Welsh fan, and of course he is from Wales. So we can give him the benefit of the doubt, I think, on that one. And of course, I will try and give a little bit of an update in terms of the game that's going on currently in terms of the Euros while we wait for the lobby to just get set back up. And I'm just going to try and have a look to see what the score is to try and update you. I have got a bet on Holland, by the way, to win the whole championship, the Euros, of course. I'm just trying to see. It looks as if, to me, it's 0-0 because I can't find the score anywhere.
Do you want me to have a little crack? See if I can find it.
Oh, it's 1-0. It's 1-0. Memphis Depay from the penalty spot, it was. I've just seen it there. Come on, Holland. Come on. Believe. Holland's good. It's coming home for Holland.
You can't say it's coming home for two different teams. Now, you're just contradicting yourself.
Oh, well, I've also picked Germany and... I've also... Oh, yeah. I've also put a bet on Germany and France to win. Yeah. And if you call me at turncoats, then you're completely and utterly right.
Well, I mean, the one thing that that will probably never happen is it going to Wales or Scotland. But if it ever did go to Wales or Scotland, then at least all the English fans could say it's coming home-ish.
It's coming home-ish.
Yeah, it's coming home-ish.
Yeah, but if we get to the final at Wembley, then we'll see who's been talking now. Anyways, enough of us talking about the Euros. 10 seconds ago in the session start. The race is about to begin. 50%, of course, race distance. That equals, I believe, 33 laps around here, or 31? I always get confused.
31 laps.
31. It used to be 33, if I'm not mistaken.
I think it was 33 back when they had the old chicane at the Singapore Sling.
It was. And then they changed it back in 2016, 17, I think it was. They changed it. They changed the track layout, and then they, of course, shortened the race distance to counteract that fact, of course, that the chicane was actually removed at the Singapore Sling. And, of course, we were under the bright night lights here in Singapore. Whether we see one of the changeable races like we did last season in TTML, I think it was Division 5, if I'm not mistaken, either last season or the season before that, we had a very, very much changeable race. It was dry at the start, then it transitioned to full wet halfway through, and then it was dry by the end. Are we going to see that again tonight, Mike?
Your guess is as good as mine. I have no idea what the weather is going to do here. But, I mean, if you look at the sky, okay, I know it's a night race, but it does look slightly grey up above.
Yeah, I can hold you to that, to be honest. It looks very cloudy, is what we'll say. Even though it is dark, you can probably see the reflection of the light, and that is cloud over the circuit. So, if that's anything to go by, then we could have rain, maybe early on in this race, maybe as early as, lap 6, lap 7, maybe, in terms of going on Trininters. But it remains to be seen. We could be totally making up the weather forecast here. We're not weather forecasters, we're commentators at the end of the day. So hopefully we're going to be seeing some great racing, of course, out on track. And with 15 seconds to go, what I'm going to do before we get into the strategy is, Mike, I'm going to come across to you. And you probably know what's coming now. Who's your top three?
CR7 for the win. He's in such a good spot, and he's the win here. And I'm going to go with both of the Alfa Romeos on the podium. So Jorg and Noisy, which would mean Alfa Romeo take the constructors.
Interesting. I'll hold you to that one. So which order did you say you were going to go in for the Alfa Romeos?
I'm going to go with Jorg ahead and Noisy.
Jorg ahead of Noisy. So basically top two remain as they are and then Noisy from 6th to 3rd. Yeah, I could see that happening, to be honest. But I'm going to go a little bit wild and wacky, like I always do around here in Singapore. I think CR7 will win out on track. It'll be CR7 for the win. For second, I am going to go for TDB. I don't think he'll wrap up the championship tonight. I think he'll finish second and make his way through the field. And then third, you'd be thinking I'm absolutely mad by going for this person. LMN, down in 15th.
I mean, LMN is the master when it comes to making his tyres last. He could probably do a medium soft run here.
He probably could. The mediums, last around 21, 22 laps? In terms of good tyre wear?
Yeah, it's not really ideal to take him past around about, I believe it's like 13, 14, 15 around thereabouts. It's not really ideal to take him past that, but we've seen the LMN so many times do unthinkable things when it comes to tyre wear, and he still hasn't given me any lessons on it, which I'm absolutely shocked and appalled by.
He might give you a lesson before Sunday, though. You never know. If you're both within the same lobby in the charity race, then you might work together to be, maybe 1 and 2? Who knows? The silence is deafening. The silence is deafening on Mike's end, I can tell.
Yeah, if you together Big 12, I think that's could be.
Don't think we heard a single word you said there, Mike, by the way. You were lagging quite a lot, but what I deciphered from that was I dare not to decipher, to be honest, from what was said. It was just very, very alien-like, is what I'm going to say, in terms of his voice coming through on my end there. Hopefully you might have heard it on the stream. I certainly didn't. CR7 though out on top, Jorgen second, Funky Chicken in third. The 5 red lights are about to go out for the final time this season here in TTML Division 2, and hopefully it is going to be a cracker of a race to prove that as well. And there is the view from CR7, there is the view from Jorg as well. A little bit of ghosting going on, but the 5 red lights are now coming on here in Singapore for the final round of the championship in TTML Division 2. And it's lights and away we go. CR7 gets a good start. Jorg gets a good start, but Funky Chicken's away the quickest. And Funky Chicken is on the outside line. In towards someone there. Sway down the inside line. Gets caught up with Isotopic. And Isotopic there through. And he's into 4 TDBs. Made good ground off the start as well. But CR7 leads. Funky Chicken with a really good start though. He's into second position already. LMN is fighting with Mad Jonas further down the field. Matt Tubbles and a Pewdie Boy are nearly going side by side. Quite a few clinks of the wall there. There's Mercedes and a Red Bull going side by side. LMN and Mad Jonas going side by side further down the field. But CR7 leads. Funky Chicken in second. Jorgen third. Through Memorial Corner for the first time. Flicking through the field. LMN right on the back of a Pewdie Boy. Pretty much shoving him around the corner. Both Mercedes now side by side. Mad Jonas and Cam in towards turn number 8. Cam on the inside line. Will get the move done on Mad Jonas. Lovely stuff there by the Brit. He is through. And he's into 14th position. Mad Jonas now down to 15th. On that set of hards. The hards not working early. Everyone through the Singapore Sting for the first time. It's CR7 out on top. Funky Chicken second. Jorgen third. I'm just trying to see if there's any damage for anyone out on track at the end of the first lap. Yes, there is. TDB has got damage.
Yeah, I was looking at the TAS. I don't think the TAS has gone through. As actually, no, it has just gone through there. 90% on his left wing.
Yeah,
it's
and that is
Colin Robb straight on into the. Oh, I lagged.
I was going to say, he took that corner beautifully coming through turn 17 there. There was a little bit of lag there as well, but CR7 though out on top, Funky Chicken second, Jorgen third. As we come to the end of the first lap, what does TDB do? Does he come into the pit lane early? Yes is the answer. He comes into the pit lane early, and he's going to now possibly go on to a set of hards, maybe set of softs later on in the race. Who knows? Mad Jonas on the back of Cam coming across the line. Cam trying to break the toe down in towards turn 1. But early on, CR7 leads. Funky Chicken in second, Jorgen third. Isotopic is well up there as well, but CR7 leading. Funky Chicken, though, right on the back of him. The very same point against the Haas, and the Haas, of course, leading the Constructors coming into tonight. They're 2 positions ahead of Isotopic at this stage, and Isotopic actually a little bit further down the field. He's in 4th position at this stage. CR7, though, managing the race well. Sway, though, right on the back of Isotopic.
Yep, Sway looking in fine form here. He had a very good start, got right into the mix of things early, and now he's settling in, trying to go into the back of Isotopic. Hopefully my internet connection will kind of sort itself out, as I have had to turn off the stream, which I usually like to keep the stream on just to talk, but I had to turn it off, unfortunately. But yeah,
what can you do? What can you do? We're all working from home, all commentating from home as well. Spray on the back of Isotopic goal, 3rd, 4th and 5th. You're just coming back to Isotopic slightly as well. LMN is right on the back of a Pewdie Boy further down the field. It's 11th and 12th position at this stage, but LMN's on a set of mediums, a Pewdie Boy on a set of hards, and you would imagine that LMN is going to try and get this move done sooner rather than later. Of course, he's on a set of mediums as the yellow flag in Sector 2. TDB is in the wall through Sector 2. He must have crashed that into the wall. I'm just trying to flick back to see where he is. That was just before the Enter Bridge, and he's got damage. So TDB, I think, his championship goal is pretty much over before it's really began.
Yeah, and I think that goes on both counts, the constructors and drivers. So Pewdie Boy currently in 11th place. They're not doing enough. LMN, I think, is going to the back of a Pewdie Boy.
He did indeed. LMN into the back of a Pewdie Boy, right on board with that as well. It was just a bit of a lock-up. He broke so much later, LMN, as he always does. Got it completely wrong, and now Pewdie Boy down in 13th position. Maybe LMN should just drop off Cam and let a Pewdie Boy back through into that position for 12th at least, as the Pewdie Boy actually picked up a 3-second tumbling, so actually dropping off the back of Cam. But drama early on, CR7 leading the way. Funky Chicken in 2nd, Jorg in 3rd, Isotopic in 4th. Looking in behind though, Colin Robb, best place of the medium runners at this stage, is in 8th position at this stage. Jack looks like he's overheating the tyres slightly.
Jack with wing damage as well, according to the task system.
Let's have a look. I haven't got the task system up, and he has, 12% damage on the front left end plate, so very similar to TDB sort of damage. TDB now into the pit lane for a set of medium compound tyres. His race is pretty much over before it's even began. He needs a safety car ideally to try and come back into this. Colin Robb though on the back of Jack, and that is why Jack is struggling so much. Colin Robb now has got to put him under pressure, but he's in a Renault sandwich, he's in a banana sandwich, as I'm going to call it, out on track tonight. F1 AMG just to be on a set of softs. Surely you would imagine that Jack, with the damage, might try and let F1 AMG through if he tries to get the move done. And actually, he's into the pit lane. Very late call into the pit lane, but Jack is in, and now Colin Robb is under pressure from F1 AMG. And now this is probably going to be F1 AMG, you would imagine, for 7th position down in towards Memorial Corner.
Yeah, the issue is now for F1 AMG is obviously these softs, they do not last very long, and to be fair, F1 AMG's probably got among the best tyre wear out of everyone on the soft tyres at this moment in time, but I don't think he's going to be quite close enough to make a move on Colin Robb, and no he doesn't. He sticks behind the Williams, the Welshman, and I think that's going to be it. I think those mediums are going to be good enough to get Colin Robb away from F1 AMG now.
Radionis down the inside there, a Pewdie Boy as well. He's through now into 12th position. LMN now down up into 10th position. He's right on the back of Matt Tibos now. So he's actually been he's now on the back of Matt Tibos, and now Cam has joined in on this as well. So both the mediums catching the set of hards in front of him and Matt Tibos. Matt Tibos runs out wide, and now LMN could have a great run coming out of the hairpin. He's going to open the DRS to try and get the run down in towards 10-14. He switches to the inside line. Matt Tibos has got to try and defend this into the middle of the track. LMN dives it down the inside line, gets through done. Cam nearly follows through in that as well. But LMN, lovely move. I think Matt Tibos realised that the game was up there, to be honest, and LMN is through. And he's into 9th position. Matt Tibos doesn't really want to fight in a set of hard compounded tyres, but he's got to be wary of Cam in behind, because Cam, he does like his dive bombs.
Yep, that he does, and he also likes using all of his ERS, which I'm actually surprised to see him over 50% at this stage.
He's got more than, he's got about 60%, in fact, looking at my bottom screen. And now Cam On the run, past Matt Tibos, uses it all down the straight down the inside line. Matt Tibos doesn't fight it, Cam is through, and he's into 10th position. Lovely stuff there by the Brit on his fellow countrymen. And now Matt Tibos will be under pressure from Mad Jonas in behind. Isotopic on the back of Jorg for 3rd and 4th. He's getting closer this time around. He's not going to be close enough though down, but that little weave suggests that Jorg is there, and Isotopic is there to try and reclaim that position for 3rd. It's CR7 out on top, Funky Chicken 2nd, Jorg in 3rd. Let's have a look at the position changes actually early on in this race. Element and Cam have gained 6 positions respectively. Colin Rob has gained 3, Mad Jonas has gained 2, Funky Chicken and Isotopic have gained 1. Looking down the rest of the field, TDB, the big drop of course after those 2 spins, down 8 positions and 6 positions dropped for Jack as well. Everyone else on a 1 position drop, Jorg, Sway, F1 AMG, Beauty Boy and Vettel. Funky Chicken putting CR7 under a little bit of pressure, I think, now.
Yeah, Funky Chicken, he's stuck with CR7 and a fantastic job so far from Funky Chicken, but I think CR7, he's just comfortable at the moment. He's not really feeling the pressure. He knows TDB has had a absolute torrid time. As you can probably see on the minimap, there's a McLaren just coming through turns 3.
Oh!
Right now
F1 AMG spun! F1 AMG is spun just underneath the grandstand. Either a controller glitch or something, I don't know, but it looks like he's gone into the wall and he's now back into the pit lane. So F1 AMG is into the pits. Noisy also follows through as well, and a safety car! Safety car out on track, and that must be for TDB's no front wing.
TDB is all over the place here tonight.
He did say he wasn't going to get any practice in.
Yeah, but he uses line.
he uses line. That's probably the best comment I think we've heard all season, to be honest. But we are under a safety car, and that is going to spice up things. TDB is the one that is, understandably, I think, caused that safety car with that front wing damage that he's picked up. He's down now in 16th position. He will be on the back of the queue. But what do the guys in a set of softs especially do underneath the safety car period? Do they come in, do they peel in, or do they wait a couple of laps maybe, and then come in for a set of hard to try and do a one-stop towards the end of the race? It's fascinating. I think if I was in the soft runners situation, I'd probably pit in now, go on to a set of mediums maybe, and then back onto a set of softs later on in the race.
Yeah, and this is crucial because TDB, if he was to pit now, I have a sneaking suspicion that Carwin Rob would jump him, so he would end up a lap down. If TDB wants to guarantee he stays on the lead lap, he has to stay out another lap, surely.
He's coming through turn 21, and we nearly hit it into the wall, actually, through turn 21.
That's a bad call,
he's into the pit lane. Through 22. It's a bad call. Maybe he'll retire it in the pit lane, is what I'm thinking. TDB's into the pit lane, going very slow, of course. The change there is there for the front wing, and CR7 is into the pit lane. Funky Chicken in, Jorg in, Isotopic in, Sway in, Carwin Rob stays out.
Yep, and that's what I was talking about. It's a bad call there from TDB. He's now a lap down as he drops behind.
Oh, and he's
LMN and
I think he held up CR7 there as well. I think he held up CR7. It's not enough for Funky Chicken. Funky Chicken has lost time out of the pit lane. I think Funky Chicken got held up more there by CR7, and that was because TDB came out of the pit lane in front of him, because Racing Point and McLaren very close together in terms of the pit lane. Funky Chicken has lost time coming out the pit lane. Obviously we're under a safety car, and that's gonna the time is gonna be gained back. But if that wasn't under a safety car and that was a VSE, Funky Chicken could have just lost the race there.
Yep, and I mean, as I said, TDB now, he is no longer on the lead lap relative to the cars ahead of him. He's now a lap down from the top 4, and he's going to get blue flagged immediately as we get this race back underway.
Yeah, and the problem is as well, everyone that is in TDB's way, so everyone behind TDB essentially, and that will be, well, a majority of the field speed. I think he's behind Matt Tibos out on track. He's Cam's in front of him. So TDB is going to have CR7, Funky Chicken, and everyone else behind him And TDB, he will have to get out of the way, surely, from everyone underneath the start-finish line. Because CR7 cannot overtake TDB, otherwise he get a penalty.
Yeah, absolutely. And here's the thing as well, for CR7, for his sake as well, he'll now know that TDB is a lap down 100% because he can see that directly in front of him. TDB is going to be a solid car. He's not going to ghost until he crosses the line to get back under the way into the safety car. So CR7 needs to be extra cautious of TDB on the restart, because it could mean a 5-second time penalty for CR7 if he's not careful.
Yeah, everyone is on the back of the safety car queue, by the way. I think Jorga's the one that might be holding everyone up, but we come across the start-finish line to start what is lap 8. We are on lap 12, by the way, in Division 3. If you want to go and show, there's only 2 viewers watching Division 3, and I feel half obliged to say, go and show Aiden Carter your love, go and show him your support for his commentary, and show the support, of course, for the 13 drivers that are driving there out on track. Still in Singapore in Division 3. Carwin Rob out on top, Element second, Cam in third. It's not often you see a Welshman in front. I wonder if that's going to be the same in the Euros this year.
Did you not watch the Turkey game? We was in front for a lot of that game.
I did watch the Turkey game, and I thought it was a very good performance by Wales.
Yeah, we was out in front.
Out in front, like Carwin Rob is now at the minute. Of course, the Welshman leading the way. The Dane, of course, in LMN is in second. Cam in third, of course, the Brit. Matt Tibos in fourth. CR7 in fifth at this stage as well. The Portuguese man, of course, the flying Portuguese man from the last 2 rounds. Of course, 3 wins for his name, 4 podiums this season. And pretty much with TDB now a lap down, you would imagine, unless we have Canada 2011-esque from TDB, CR7 will win the championship hands down.
Yeah, I think the only hope that TDB has, and is a massive, massive hope. He needs CR7 to DNF and needs another safety car to kind of unlap himself and bring him back in as, oh, CR7 and Funky Chicken, 5-second time penalties apiece.
And that might have just been a blessing in disguise, and that's a commentator's curse from Mike there as well. CR7, 5-second penalty with Funky Chicken. And was that damage? Oh, TDB's gone off! TDB's off! I thought I saw damage run across the screen, and TDB's in the wall. TDB in the wall? What on earth has happened there? Has he crashed it right, I wonder, to let the rest of the field through?
I have no idea. I mean, me and TDB were having a bit of banter earlier. I said, don't annoy me because I'll commentator curse you, but I don't even need to.
He's done it himself. He's done it himself, and Carwin Rob is not hanging around under this safety car start. He's now running through turn 21. Safety car is just about to come into the pit lane now. Carwin Rob is not going to hang about here at all in terms of the safety car restart. We're about to start lap 9, and Carwin Rob now says go, and LMN does not respond, and Cam has got the better start compared to LMN as well. So we're back across the line. Funky Chicken into the pit lane to serve the 5-second penalty. Matt Tibbles tries to go all the way around the outside of Cam through turn 1, gets cut off at the pass. CR7 and behind as well. But Carwin Rob, a great restart from the Welshman, and TDB is out of the race. He leaves the session. Mad Jonas has spun coming through turn 2 as well, and he gets the car recovered just about. He picks up a 3-second time penalty, but Carwin Rob leads. Element in second, Cam in third, Jorg right on the back of CR7. CR7's nearest challenger at the minute, Jack and her Beauty Boy are going side by side and down in towards Memorial Corner. Not quite close enough. Noisy tries to lunge it on Sway as well. A very good restart, a peculiar restart in terms of TDB. He's out of the race now. CR7 has basically got a finish.
F1 AMG Noisy side by side, and Noisy able to hold on to that position. Yeah, as you said, TDB out of the race. Championship is over now.
Jack and a Beauty Boy were fighting side by side through the Anderson Bridge section, and they're still on the Beauty Boy. He's trying to go around the outside into the hairpin. This will be brilliant if he can pull it off. He doesn't, but he does get the traction, and he's actually run out of the traction now. And a Beauty Boy, oh my god, if he pulled that off, that would have been an absolute world-class move from a Beauty Boy. He didn't, but he had a really good go at trying to get that move done. That was insane battling between them both. Jack in 12, a Beauty Boy still in 13. CR7 now getting held up by Matt Tibos. And Matt Tibos, where there's a train, there's normally Matt Tibos at the front of it.
Yeah, it's a fall from grace from last season for Matt Tibos. And now he has CR7 all over the back of him. He's going to be looking to try and make this move. I'm pretty convinced that he'll try and get that 5-second time penalty removed at the end of the race. So I don't think that's going to be too much of an effect. But for this constructors battle now, this is interesting because we have Jorg in a net second place now because Funky Chicken came into the pits to serve his 5-second time penalty, and Noisy in the net 5th.
Is he going to go for it? Is CR7 going to go for the move? Are you down the inside on Matt Tibos? Matt Tibos hangs it around the outside. CR7 gets caught in the curb. Matt Tibos fights back to the inside line. Great fight back, but it's a Portuguese man getting the switch back. Beautiful stuff for the CR7. The potential champion with one hand on the crown now has outdone Matt Tibos beautifully there through turn number 8. CR7 is through, clear of the traffic. He's through and he's into P4.
Yeah, CR7 is 100% guaranteed the championship now.
Unless he DNF. Oh boy, yeah. Even if he DNFs, even if he DNFs, I'm an absolute fool. I think still somebody's in the championship fight. Maybe give me 200 odd points, being an awesome commentator. Am I a driver? Maybe. Colin Robber leads the way. Element in second, Cam in third, CR7 in fourth, and Maze is probably now looking at me in absolute disgust that I'm probably going to be awarded 200 points to win the championship here in Division 2.
I mean, I think it's fair.
I think it's fair. I've never driven a race since F1 2018 or 19, I think. And that was like 2 years ago. That's all I'm saying. Carwin Rob's out on top. Element in second, Cam in third, CR7 in fourth, Matt Tibos in fifth, and Matt Tibos actually pulls to the left-hand side. Running down the straight, tries to split the toe from Jorg. Isotopic in this as well. F1 AMG and Noisy. We saw these battle earlier on. They're still battling down in 9th and 10th position. All ingrained in a big DRS train. Behind Matt Tibos, a Pewdie Boy and Jack are going back at it as well. The Pewdie Boy's finally managed to get the move done on Jack. He's through out of turn 3, through turn 4 in towards turn 5, and the Pewdie Boy's through and he's into 12th and has disposed of Jack very impressively indeed. F1 AMG trying to close up. Jorg down the inside line. Matt Tibos tries to get the move done. Isotopic's going to be just sitting and waiting, maybe waiting for Matt Tibos and Jorg, as Matt Jonas has been trying to go for a move there on Jack, I think, further down the field, but Isotopic right on the back of Jorg. Jorg cannot find a way through, and look at the gap now between CR7 and Matt Tibos. It's 2.5 seconds.
Yep, Matt Tibos causing an absolute train of cars behind him now, and this is horrible.
Isotopic! Oh my god, I thought Isotopic was going to send it down the inside into the hairpin. Very lucky that he didn't. Jorg's going to fight back though around the outside of Matt Tibos, trying to go in towards turn 14. He will have the traction on the outside. He could get this move done actually, Jorg. But that's a little bit of a questionable move, I think, there from Jorg. He is through though and he's into P5. And a move across on Matt Tibos just to say, well, I'm here. And you shouldn't have held me up.
Yeah. A little bit of a Vettel Hamilton Baku tap there between Jorg and Matt Tibos.
Wonder if something might have happened earlier on in the race, maybe, or underneath the safety car. I don't know. Jorg into 5th though, nonetheless. Matt Tibos in 6th, and Isotopic in 7th. A Beauty Boy in Vettel now. Beauty Boy's got really good pace here tonight. The Finn on the back of the German. Matt Tibos now getting outgunned by Isotopic on this, so Matt Tibos actually is getting outgunned by Sway as well. So Matt Tibos dropping all the way down the field. CR7. I think I saw a penalty for CR7 there. 3-second time penalty for CR7. Noisy now pulls out the slipstream and Matt Tibos looks to the inside line to try and get the move done. And he does. So Noisy through and he's into P8. Well, everyone's now swamping Matt Tibos at this stage.
Yeah, I think Matt Tibos just... He saw the battle between him and Jorg, and he was like, okay, I just do not want any more of this battle. And he's just moved out of the way of Isotopic and Sway. But now he has F1 AMG behind him on those medium tyres. And we've seen how quickly CR7 was able to pull away from Matt Tibos. But that doesn't matter because here comes F1 AMG now with the traction. And job done.
Yeah, a bit of a slide out there, the hairpin there for Matt Tibos. F1AMG disposal of him very easily, and he's through and he's into ninth position. And now the Matt Tibos train continues. Next up is Vettel to try and hop on board on the back of that. A Beauty Boy in 12th, Mad Jonas 13th. Jack in 14th, and then Funky Chicken all the way down the field in 15th position. Cam is trying to pressurise LMN at this stage. 0.5 of a second. Looking at Cam's ERS. Still at 70%. I'm relatively surprised. LMN has got less ERS though, and it's around the 30% mark. So Cam is using less ERS at this stage of the race. I wonder if he knows he's going to try and do a one-stop onto a set of hard compounded tyres. It's not a bad strategy call, to be honest.
I am in shock and awe that Cam has finally, after I don't know how many races of us saying save your ERS, he's finally learned as F1 AMG is making the move on Noisy and gets the job done as Vettel and Matt Tibos swap positions also.
Yeah, Vettel's through down the inside line, and Matt Tibos through and he's into 10th, and F1 AMG makes light work of Noisy as well. He is through and he's into P8 out on track. Next up for Matt Tibos is a Beauty Boy. A Beauty Boy now right on the back of the Brit, running down in towards Singapore Sling. Colin Rob leading, Element second, Cam in third. I'm progressively getting more sweatier, by the way, in the commentary box. It's very muggy here in the north of England. A Beauty Boy on the back of Matt Tibos, looking to the inside on. And Matt Tibos, do you know what? He just says, you can come through, to be honest. Actually gets a really good run on the exit. And Mad Jonas is now side by side with Matt Tibos, and he's going to claim around the outside line. Matt Tibos, ooh, thought he nearly ran into the back of him there. But Mad Jonas now into 12th position. Matt Tibos in 13th, and there's only one way Matt Tibos is going, and that's downwards.
Yeah, it's not been a good race once again for Matt Tibos, and I was just looking at the TAS just to see what the tyre wear was on for those on the mediums, and I've just noticed CR7 19% on his front right wing.
Purely Boy 19% and Mad Jonas 19% as well, so 3 drivers carrying a bit of damage there out on track. And yeah, you're right, CR7, 90% damage, and that's what I went ooh at in the TAS system. CR7 has got damage. Cam is a second off the back of LMN. He's just, I think, within DRS range to try and get that, and now CR7 is going to try and close up down into the Memorial Corner. Of course, this straight, you have to be 2.5 tenths behind to try and get the move done. Like Mad Jonas is going down the inside line, have a Beauty Boy down the straight. He is through and he's into 11th position. Literally right on cue, Mad Jonas is through and he's into 11th position. A Beauty Boy will try and fight that, but Mad Jonas, another guy with very good pace around here, he is through and he's into 11th position.
Yeah, and what we have now, this is going to be extremely frustrating for CR7. He's got a little bit of wing damage. He's stuck behind 3 medium runners that have DRS on each other now, and their tyres are wearing. And look at the time he's losing to Jorg. And he was right, CR7 did pick up a 3-second time penalty, along with his 5-second, which I think will probably get removed after the race. But as it stands, he'll drop behind Isotopic, he'll drop behind Sway. He may even drop behind Noisy. I know F1 AMG already has a penalty to his name.
Yeah, F1 AMG does have a penalty to his name, and for the benefit of everyone, I am now going to run through the penalties. Carwin Rob, it's actually CR7 is in. CR7 is into the pit lane. Not only is he into the pit lane to repair his damage, he's going to be into the pit lane for an extra 5 seconds because he's going to serve up that stop and go penalty that he has got, that time penalty which will come as stop and go. He's into the pit lane, and they'll wait 5 seconds here before they work on the car. Dead on time, they'll wait 5 seconds, and then another 5 seconds will go on because they've got to change the front wing. And in fact, it's about an 8-second pit stop in terms of the whole front wing change. So it's 13 seconds that CR7 has been cost. Isotopic in the meantime dives down the inside line of Jorg, right on cue, down the inside of the line. And now F1MG tries to make it 3 wide in towards turn 8. Gets the move done on Jorg, I think. Jorg is going to be now bullied out of the position, maybe. F1MG on the outside line. Just about gets the move done on Jorg, down in towards the Singapore Sling, and F1AMG's through. F1AMG is through and he's into P4. Jorg, all of a sudden, his tyres are now beginning to go over the cliff, and F1AMG and Isotopic make 2 gains. 3 and 4 they go.
Yeah, and this is not as bad as it is for Jorg to lose those 2 positions, because he'll know with CR7 pitting, he's probably in a party with Noisy, so you'll know Vettel's behind Noisy. I think these two now will be playing the Constructors game.
There will be. Who on earth, by the way, is going to win this race? Well, I know we predicted CR7 for the win. Both of us, I think, predicted CR7 for the win. The less we say about TDB, the better on my end. Sway, I think Sway could win this. I'll say that now. I think Sway could win it. He's been under the radar this race. He's in a net P4 out on track, and F1 AMG's on a set of mediums and a wearing set of mediums. Sway can carry this maybe to the end of the race. Maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, Sway, he's definitely one to keep an eye on, because I know Sway, he doesn't really pick up many penalties when he's in these kind of spots. So I think as long as he can keep it clean relative to Isotopic, Jorg and Noisy around him, he should be looking at a podium here.
He should look at a podium indeed, and then, yeah, Noisy on the back of Sway, trying to put Sway maybe into a sense of falsehood out on track. Isotopic leads, F1 AMG in second, Jorg in third, Sway in fourth, Noisy in fifth, Vettel in sixth, the top six covered by about 3 seconds as they come across the Anderson Bridge. F1 AMG very close to the wall there, coming across the Anderson Bridge. Jorg in third has now lost the DRS to the back of F1 AMG, but now Sway is on the back of Jorg, running down the straight in towards 14, not quite close enough at this stage. But Isotopic leading the way. F1 AMG in second, Jorg in third, Sway, Noisy, FPL Vettel, Mad Jonas, Jack, Matt Tibos and Carwin Rob are your top 10. Element, Cam, Funky Chicken, CR7 and a Pewdie Boy. Pewdie Boy is now dropped behind CR7 as a result, I think, of a pit stop. CR7 is in 14th position. He's behind Funky Chicken at this stage. He has got pace to try and get back into this, but CR7, championship is his. He doesn't need to do that much now.
Nah, I think for CR7, it's a question of how much does he want the Constructors' Championship, because there was only, obviously with the 2 extra points or pole position, there was 4 points between Alfa Romeo and Haas, and I believe at the moment the Alfa Romeo lads are taking away 35 points on this race, which will take them far ahead of the Haas's. But I mean, if CR7 can come back and maybe there's a late safety car, we don't know what could happen. It could really spice up the Constructors battle, because that's what it's all about now.
CR7, by the way, do you know how I said it was about 4.1 seconds? I've just literally looked now, it's 2.4. CR7's flying on these set of mediums. Yeah, Funky Chicken's on a 7 lap old set of mediums, but CR7 is flying out on track. I think we've said it pretty much every race this season that he's been flying at some point out on track, but 1.9 seconds, he'll be under a second by the end of this lap.
Yeah, and with Cam only 1.5 ahead of Funky Chicken, you'll be on the back of Cam and LMN in no time.
To the Anderson Bridge, I'm just right on board with this, because it's literally poetry in motion from CR7, the potential that, well, pretty much the champion now, out on track. He doesn't need to do that much. He can DNF out of the race and still win the championship out on track. But CR7 trying to close in on the back of Funky Chicken. It's 1.3 seconds. It's now 1.2. As I said, it will be under a second by the time this lap comes around. And in fact, I think it's going to be under a second as he comes out of this corner. FPL Vettel into the pit lane, and it is under a second. Now, a CR7, I'll make another prediction. He's going to get this move done into Memorial Corner.
Well, I mean, he is absolutely flying right now.
Maybe sooner than that. Maybe turn 1? No, he's got to be Memorial Corner for sure. And he's ahead of his teammate coming out the pit lane as well. Oh, you're lagging again.
I said McLaren are definitely out of this Constructors fight now. The Pewdie Boy behind absolutely everyone, and TDB being out of the race. Haas, as CR7 does get past Funky Chicken there with the aid of DRS, easy as you like. It all depends on how quick these Haas's can get through the field. Are they going to be able to deny Alfa Romeo or even isotopic, because if Noisy or Jorg drop down a few positions or pick up a penalty that loses them a spot, it's not out of the question that Ferrari could pick up the Constructors here.
Well, whoever's going to pick up the Constructors, I'm sure it's going to get our Mike over there very excited in terms of the maths. Because we did say last week it was 1 point between CR7 and TDB, and then look what happened with the penalty. But anything can still happen here in Singapore. We're only on basically lap 19, and Isotopic leads by F1 AMG in second, Jorg in third. I've got to be honest, Alfa Romeo probably in the best spot at the moment in time. Jorg and Noisy are third and fifth. Those set of hards possibly could get to the end of the race.
Well,
so I think Alfa Romeo could win this.
Right, well, would you like me to do the quick maths? 2 seconds?
The quick maths.
Okay, so Alfa Romeo's at the moment, they were 4 points behind Haas after qualifying. They are gaining 35 points with this race so far. So they are currently the net Constructors champions at this moment in time. The Ferrari with Isotopic, as I believe you just seen something.
Sway was right on the back of Jorg. I thought he was going to dive it down the inside line. He doesn't. Cam's on the back of Element, and Vettel's on the back of Funky Chicken running down in towards Memorial Corner. As Matt Jonas been disqualified. Matt Jonas has been disqualified for blocking the pit lane. He's crashed on the pit lane exit. He's got left side end plate damage. Matt Jonas has crashed, and he's been disqualified from the session. Oh, how on earth? That's heartbreaking for Matt Jonas. I don't think he was in championship winning contention anyways, or certainly in race winning contention, I should say. But that's just ridiculous. He spins coming out the pit lane. Presumably he's caught on the inside wall coming through turn 1 on the exit of the pit lane, and he spun the car and he's got left side end plate damage, and that's what's happened. Matt Jonas out of the race, absolutely heartbreaking, disqualified from the race, and it just begs the question: Codemasters, fix your game.
They're not going to. It's just too close to the next game release now. It's over.
Well, they claimed to fix this glitch where, what was it? What was the glitch that they claimed to fix in the patch notes? I can't remember off the top of my head.
All I know is that I believe it was 2 weeks ago. I had podiums where the race winner was completely invisible and the other two were bodiless. They were just a floating head, like some scene out of Harry Potter or something.
Bit of a corrective error there from CR7. Cam, CR7 is really fighting this call all of a sudden. And it looks like he's been caught in the dirty wash from Cam and LMN. And Cam is right on the back of LMN. Is he going to try and have a go down into Memorial Corner? Look at the closing speed of Cam. Cam pulls the inside line. LMN tries to pull across, but Cam is through. Down the inside line. LMN will not fight this. Cam is through, and he's into P8 out on track. On a fresh set of hards, with Carwin roll up the road with 2.5 seconds. How far are they going to get into this race? And it begs the question, are the hard runners going to come in for a set of softs?
Oh, you go CR7 down the inside of LM.
Side by side coming through the Anderson Bridge. Beautiful from CR7. He's through. Down in the Anderson Bridge section. Through into P9. And Vettel's going to follow through as well. This is crucial for Haas in terms of the constructors. Spins nearly on the exit. And now LMN is side by side with Vettel. And Vettel is going to try and get the run on the outside. Now LMN tries to cut across on the inside. Vettel's still there on the outside. Lovis is still wheel-to-wheel racing. Wheel-banging racing. And Vettel's through. Vettel is through. Element dives it down the inside line. Surely not going to pull this one off. That was too characteristic of Element trying to throw a late lunge. Vettel is through and he's into P10. Crucial for Haas in terms of the constructors, and a crucial move from Vettel.
Yep, I'm quickly doing the maths right now. So in the current positions, and I'm going to have to readjust now because I see someone in the pit. So that's
F1 MG.
They always got to do it when I'm doing maths, don't they? They always got pit.
F1 MG, by the way, is ahead of a Beauty Boy coming out of the pit lane, if that helps. Sway and Jorg, by the way, side by side, coming out of turn 7 through Memorial Corner. Jorg on the outside line, Sway on the inside line, giving each other plenty of room, and Jorg's running the outside of him. So Jorg is through and he's into second, and now the Alfa Romeo sandwich begins with Noisy in behind.
So as I was about to say, Haas currently on 268 points. The Alfa Romeos at the moment gaining 43 years. some more quick mask.
They might not be gaining 43. Here comes Sway down the inside line of York. Down the inside line he goes. A little bit of wheel banging, and then Noisy's going to come through. Noisy and York are side by side. The two Alpha Romeos coming through Singapore, through the Singapore streets, through 16 and 17. And Noisy is through, and York drops 2 positions, and Sway's now into second. So that 43 points that you've just gone on about is now reduced.
Yes, you need to calm down. I can't do maths, I guess.
It's still on-track action. I think it's better to do the baths at the end of this race, perhaps. As Isotopic who leads, Sway in second, Noisy in third, Jorg in fourth, but we are in for an absolute cracker in terms of the racing. Colin Rob is gaining on Jack, but he's not getting enough. The guys on the set of mediums are not gaining enough to try and challenge these guys. I think Isotopic might have this if he can get these sides to the end of the race. I don't think Sway and Noisy, they're going to battle too much, in my eyes, to try and close in an Isotopic. Ideally, Noisy's going to be pushing Sway through every corner as possible to try and get the time up. Isotopic is 4.7 seconds ahead of Sway. They haven't got any penalties in the top 5 yet, but anything can still happen, anything can still change. Noisy has got to work with Sway here if he wants a chance of trying to win this.
Yeah, Noisy, Sway and York, they need to just... If they want any chance of catching up to Isotopic, they need to work together. They need to slipstream DRS past each other, not really fight too much. But saying that, Isotopic, I think he's in cruise mode right now, and I think Jack is as well. He's in a bit of a no man's land at the moment.
Yeah, well, he's still getting closer by Colwyn Robb, so he's got to be wary of Colwyn and behind. The Welshman doing a really good job and a really good recovery from his pit stop. He's in 6th position ahead of Cam, and CR7's been caught up in the backwash. The medium's not getting any further really than the sort of hards in front, and Cam's probably on better tyres at this stage compared to CR7 as well. Gap now, Isotopic looks like he's backed off the throttle slightly. It's 4.3 seconds all of a sudden. The gap has reduced, and Sway now on the back of Isotopic. Now I wonder if Sway, as Noisy made a mistake there at the final corner. Did you see that? Noisy made a mistake coming out the final corner, got that back end very leery indeed, and has now nearly dropped out of DRS zone.
This is incredible, and I didn't even notice this at the time, because I didn't really pay too much attention. I thought it was just between CR7 and TDB. But TDB, because he's out of the race and Isotopic is currently leading, Isotopic could get second in the championship here.
He could indeed. Colwyn Robb on the back of Jack, pulls the inside line. The Welshman's going to try and dive this down the inside line. And my shoddy camera work now. Oh, Colwyn Robb gets a snap of oversteer. I'm not sure if Jack might have had a little bit of contact there with him. But Jack stays in 5th, Colwyn Robb in 6th. I don't think Colwyn Robb, the way position is got, he was going to get them moved in anyways. But Jack is still in 5th, Colwyn Robb in 6th. And now, hop on board the Jack train.
And now, Colwyn Robb, Cam, CR7 and Vettel on the back of this. And you've got to think, CR7 and Vettel, if they can get ahead of these two guys on the path, they should begin the gap.
Colwyn Robb into the back of Jack. I'm not sure if there's damage on the car. And he tried to move across. That was a very late move across from Colwyn's perspective. Jack didn't do anything wrong there. He just basically, that front right wheel went into the back of the rear wing of Jack, in fact. And they're so lucky to get away with that. If there's no damage there, I'd be very shocked indeed. Colwyn Robb should have got damage as a result of that. Right side end plate, maybe with a winglet off there. Noisy has now dropped to 4th. Jorg has let through, so Jorg through into P3, Noisy P4. They've got to be having one eye though on the action that's happening in behind, because here comes CR7 to the outside line of Cam, through turn 1, through turn 2. Cam really doesn't give him any room, does he? CR7 on the outside line. Ooh! Now F1 AMG. Where's F1 AMG came from in all of this? He's now going around the outside line at turn 4.
Ooh. Oh, it's getting feisty out in the midfield.
Colwyn Robb trying to use his D-rating down the straight. He tries to... Oh. Tries to go all the way around the outside. He doesn't. Cam makes a mistake, and now here's CR7 down the inside line in towards turn number 8. It's getting very feisty indeed on the final couple of laps here on the final race of the season here in TTML Division 2. Carwin Rob is right on the back of Jack. He pulls to the inside line into the Singapore thing, doesn't get the move done, and Jack is valiantly trying to fight this off like he was in America. He's trying to valiantly fight this off, and now LMN has joined in on the train as well. It's a 7-car train, and this is going to get messy down the inside line. Carwin Rob, Cam is through. Carwin Rob has lost 2 positions nearly. Vettel is now ahead of CR7. F1MG and LMN are still fighting him behind as well. There goes Vettel down the inside line of Carwin Rob. CR7's going to get them both maybe on the run up towards 16 and 17. Vettel through. And now through as well. Goodness me, more contact between them both. Carwin Rob in P9. CR7 P8 at the minute. And Cam in P6, and I've got to put our graphics down on what shape lanes in 5 minutes. And we haven't got 5 minutes left at all in this race.
Absolute of what we are seeing right now is battle for what is effectively P5.
I'm going to have to try and pin Tom on Discord. I've had him on with Cam on the back of Jack and Vettel. This battle for 5th, 6th and 7th really hot enough. Noisy on the back of York as well, running down into the Memorial Corner. But Cam on the back of Jack. I'll be 2 seconds. I'm going to message Tom, telling him that the shape play is going to die.
Yep, and here comes F1 AMG down the inside of Carwin.
Vettel!
Oh my
Vettel
god,
around the
Vettel
outside of Cam! Neither gets moved on down the inside line towards 7 and 8. It's a little bit messy. Jack is still there though. Cam on the inside line tries to fight this. Vettel on the outside line. Judy going to get the traction. And they're both in the wall. They're both in the wall. And Vettel and Cam are in the wall. I wonder if that's going to deploy maybe a VSC because of the damage there on the inside. As Vettel hits the wall again. And that was inevitable, I think. It was all getting a little bit too messy. Cam and Vettel in the wall. They get hit on each other.
Is Vettel out?
Yeah, Vettel retires. Vettel retires, and is that going to deploy a safety car? I don't know.
Chicken is the only car in that area, and I don't think a safety car will be deployed for it. But you never know with Codemasters. They could deploy it, which would be absolute heartache for Isotopic. But nope, we're back to green flags, and I think that has taken Haas now out of this Constructors battle. I think it's Alfa Romeo versus Ferrari now, but I think Ferrari, they started too far behind Alfa Romeo. I think Alfa Romeo have it wrapped up now.
Who would have thought it? Who would have thought it coming into the Constructors battle tonight? That the guys, both the championships were going to be decided. CR7 obviously has been decided. Cam has now retired, by the way, through the first sector. Was that in the pit lane he retired that? Yeah,
in the pit lane.
So he retires in the pit lane. Disaster for Cam, getting caught up in that incident with Vettel. Vettel then crashing out the race. But Isotopic leading. Sway in second. Do you know how I said Sway might win this one? I know it's 4.3 seconds the gap, but Isotopic, I just feel he might just drop in terms of the tyre wear out on track. And Sway is going to try and catch on to the back. And speaking of catching on the back, Carwin Rob was right on the back of Jack for 7th, 8th and 9th.
Yeah, and I'm looking at the tyres right now between the difference between Isotopic and Sway, and they're pretty much level. Sway is slightly worse on the rears than Isotopic, so I think Sway's got a little bit too much to do, but F1 AMG all over the back of CR7. Jack and Carwin Rob side by side.
No way is Jack gonna try and pull this off around the outside through 18. This is bold and brave. It's brilliant. Can he get the move done though? It's half complete. It's fully complete. Jack is through. How on earth has he done that? Jack is through and he's into P7. 21 lap old hards, and now against 10 lap old hards, Carwin Rob tries to go around the outside of him, and LMN's going to have a sensational run on them both. Running down in towards turn 1, we've got 5 laps to go, and Carwin Rob's around the outside of Jack. Brilliant stuff by the Welshman. He's through and he's into 7th. My God, this battle between Carwin Rob and Jack. They've been going at each other's throats, basically, throughout this race. And now F1MG is going to launch it on CR7 down into the Memorial Corner. They're side by side. And F1 AMG tries to hang it. CR7 tries to hang him off the camber of the corner, and they're still side by side. And it's nearly 3-1 in the background, as well as Colin, Rob, Jack, and LMN have a fight. And F1 AMG's in the wall. F1 AMG sliding there in the wall. I think he had a snapper over, see maybe a half spin. And CR7's turn, he's into 5th.
I have no idea where to keep my eyes on. There's so much action going on right now with these battles.
Puny Boy's not entirely out of that Jack battle either. He's catching them.
Yeah, PewDiePie pretty much under the back, but I think now Carmen Rob has managed to get away from Jack slightly, and now it's LMN's turn. Well, I think it's just going to make this move simple as you like around the outside.
Are you sure it's going to be simple though? Jack is going to try and hang him out on the outside line to dry, and he's now still on the inside line. And LMN, I think, wisely backs off that, as now we switch to the POV of LMN on the back of Jack through towards the marina on the right hand side. Jack in 8th, LMN in 9th, PewDiePie 9 now in 10th position. Got there in the end. Jack in 8th, LMN in 9th, PewDiePie in 10th, and Jack is still fending these guys off. I do not know how he's driving with 22 lap old hard out on track. If that was me, I would have had a puncture by now.
Well, looking at Jack's tyre wear, his highest is 62 on front right and the rear right, so he's keeping it pretty consistent between them both.
Funky Chicken is into the pit lane. I think he's got a free pit stop over Matt Tibos. Another wonder he's in. LMN is on the back of Jack, and I wonder if he's going to try and have a go. Even he's derating. Now to the outside line goes LMN. He is the car ahead into the corner. Jack on the inside line. And I think there was contact there. Jack got shoved up on the inside line on the curb, and LMN's through. I think LMN would have got through anyways. LMN's through and he's into 8th.
Yeah, a little bit of contact there between Jack and LMN. And I tell you what, I think we've been seeing that quite a lot. The clean moves usually lead to a little bit of a squeeze, which causes just a slight bit of contact, as F1 AMG once again is all over the back of CR7 for P5. And looking at the penalty situation, it could be interesting. It's not over between these two.
And I'll tell you something else, Mike. For the first time this race, Sway is catching Isotopic. It's 3.4 seconds across the line. If Isotopic picks up a 3-second penalty, this swings into Sway's favour massively. Sway's got the pace now. He's got fresher tyres compared to Isotopic. His rear right is on 50%. Isotopic's on 49 on the front right, so around the same level. CR7 picks up a 3-second time penalty with F1 AMG all over the back of him. That was through turn 1, I think. He might have picked that up on the exit of turn 2. F1 AMG on the back of CR7 will try to look and get the move done. He will not though this time around, I don't think, unless he's got the closing speed, which he might do, but he backs off. F1 AMG not going to go for the move.
Yeah, he didn't use enough of his ERS and really put CR7 under pressure, but he has double the ERS that CR7 has, so you might want to start using it soon, because CR7's tyres are just going to fall away now.
Yeah, they are going to fall away, and CR7 6-lap-old fresher tyres for F1 AMG at around about half the rate as CR7's tyres out on track. Around 62% for CR7, 31% for F1 AMG. So that is what 6-lap fresher tyres get for you on a set of medium compound tyres. F1 AMG, again, not close enough to the back. Is a PewDiePie, though, close enough to the back of Jack? Yes, he gives him a tap coming through the hairpin. He was so close there, he even gave him a little bit of a shove. And now, PewDiePie, is he going to lunge it around the outside line? This is late on the break from a PewDiePie, but he doesn't quite get the move done. Jack still stays in 9th, but for how long? Because I thought a PewDiePie was going to go for the move there.
He was going for it.
But I tell you what, though, it just comes to show Jack has driven a solid race. He's on 25 little hards, basically at the end of this lap. He's driven such a solid race, even though he is losing positions. He's driven such a solid race. If he has a full season next season in TTML, I'd like to see where we'd get in the championship, because I think he might be a lively contender.
That'd be very interesting to see, and obviously we never know what's going to happen in terms of the new game coming out, how people will adapt to it. But here goes F1 AMG now. DRS, ERS down the inside. Is he going to be able to get this move done?
Ooh, we shoved CR7 out wide, but you could argue F1MG had the right of way of the corner. As a Beauty Boy and Jack are fighting side by side through the outside of turn 7. And a Beauty Boy runs the inside on Jack, tries to get the move done. Oh my god, Eddie in the wall, and Jack somehow still stays out on top. A Beauty Boy cannot find a way through. And now, side by side into the Singapore Sling. This is going to get dangerous if they're not careful. Jack on the inside line, on the outside line, and Beauty Boy on the inside line. They're still side by side coming towards the Anderson Bridge. They've got to give each other room. And a Beauty Boy's on the back of Jack still. Is he going to try and launch this? I think he's going to go switch back at the hairpin, try and get the move done. Jack just parks it on the apex though. It's brilliant driving from Jack. The final lap of the race is about to begin. It's Isotopic leading, Sway in second, Jorgen third, Noisy in fourth. I think with confidence, and I'm going to make I might be wrong in this, but I think Alfa Romeo have done it.
Oh yeah, they have. They definitely have.
Good. I'm glad you clarified that even before the final lap of the race has begun. But you never know. 3-second time penalty could really swing things into somebody's favour, maybe. Isotopic leading, Sway in second, Jorgen third, Noisy in fourth. And yeah, I think F1MG, of course, with that penalty, CR7 with the penalties, Coleman Rob with the penalties as well. They're going to be dropping down the field at the end of this race. A Beauty Boy on the back of Jack. I cannot take my eyes off this battle for P9 and P10. Is a Beauty Boy finally going to get past Jack on the final lap of the race? Surely down into Memorial Corner he's going to get him.
He needs to use absolutely everything now. All of his rich mix, all of his ERS. He's got to get past this Renault. Yeah,
unless he dives it. He's not going to think about it, is he? No way, around the outside line, a Beauty Boy. This will be brilliant if he pulls it off to the inside line. Jack on the outside line, they give each other room, a little bit more wheel banging between them both, and Jack still stays out on top. Jack still stays in P9. It's a valiant effort in defensive driving. It's brilliant.
Yeah, Jack right now, he's just placing his car perfectly every single corner, just to compromise whoever is behind him, to make sure they don't have an easy time overtaking him. And the Beauty Boy is being caught out here, and I believe this is probably the last opportunity he'd have, but he's not close enough as Carmen Robb overtakes CR7.
Through the final corner, Isotopic has won. Isotopic wins out on track, Sway across the line to finish in second. Its best result of the season. Jorgen third, Noisy fourth, F1AMG in fifth. CR7, I thought he had a puncture, is why I could only assume he got overtaken. A Beauty Boy's crashed out the race. A Beauty Boy's out of the race. CR7 comes across the line to wrap up the championship here in TTML Division 2. And a Beauty Boy has crashed out. And he's crashed out, I think, through turn 18 and 19.
Oh,
there he
no,
is. It's disastrous from a Beauty Boy. All of that effort on the back of Jack. Funky Chicken now 10th. Matt Tibbles will finish in 11th if he finishes the race. That's heartbreaking for a Beauty Boy who's really pushing on the back of CL7. Obviously locked up, I think, into the wall. Funky Chicken across the line to finish in P10. Matt Tibos is going to be the final man to come across the line to finish in P11. Well, oh well, oh well. Isotopic has won. Sway in second, Jorgen third, Noisy in fourth. We'll get the top three in, I'm sure, and I believe... Shall we try and get in the champion as well?
Yes, and do we want to get in the other Alfa Romeo for the Constructors Champion?
Yes. Matt Tibos doesn't care if we are going to have donuts and Ozzy's going to do them himself, and he actually whacks the wall with his rear tyre, and I wonder if Matt Tibos is then going to come across the line. He now runs through the final corner, to the line he comes, and finishes in 11th position. And that is the end.
Yep, what a race that was.
Drive of the day awarded by the in-game fans was Element. I'm sure we'll pick our drive of the day in very, very short amount of time. But to the top step of the podium goes Isotopic for his win here in Singapore. A great win for him as well. The Norwegians couldn't do enough, with Jonas obviously not attending tonight. The Ferraris only had the one driver. The one driver outscores both Alfa Romeos. But the Alfa Romeos, because they led Ferrari in the Constructors, have wrapped up the championship. Both Noisy and Jorg, well done to them. And well done to CR7 as well. Crossing the line, I think in 7th in the end. Got outdone by Ella Men. So he crosses the line Division 7 then is your TTML Division 2 champion of Season 4. House.
Just quickly trying to get everyone in a sec.
You're trying to get everyone in, and there's the grid order. Isotopic out on top, Sway, best result of the season, in second with York in third, Noisy in fourth, F1 AMG in fifth, Common Rob drove well in sixth as well, Element in seventh, CR7 in eighth in the end. He got outdone by Element in eighth. Jack in ninth, Funky Chicken with the fastest lap rounds off the top 10. Matt Sibos, the only other man to finish out on track. A Pewdie Boy DNFing on the final lap of the race. Cam, Vettel, Madionis and TDB. Not sure why Madionis has been counted as a DNF instead of a disqualification. But TDB, I know we put a comment in saying he's not last. Well, my screen, unfortunately, you are.
I mean, you always got to look at the bright side of things.
Well, he put up a valiant fight. He put up a valiant fight in terms of the championship. And because Isotopic, I'm just going to do the drivers' standings for second in terms of the driver standings. Isotopic was behind TDB by 27 points. TDB didn't finish Isotopic once, that's 30 points for Isotopic. Noisy. Isotopic's got second in the championship by, I think, 3 points.
Yep, Isotopic does seal second, and trying to get Noisy's name up as well, but PlayStation's not agreeing with me at the moment.
TTG underscore Noisy, if that helps. Or is it just being very slow?
It's not being slow, it's just... Right, finally, right, there we go. Right. So, podium, drivers champion, and the other half of the constructors champion, all going right now.
Yeah, I'm sure we will get interviews from all of them who are going to be joining us in the commentary box. And to give you an update, by the way, on the inevitable Euros match that is going on at the minute between Holland and Austria, I am going to get it up. It is 2-0, apparently, to the Netherlands, I have just seen. Denzel Dumfries, what a name that is. He has scored. He's become the second Dutchman to score in his first two appearances at the Euros after Ruud van Nistelrooy.
Oh, good old Ruud van Nistelrooy. What a legend.
What a guy. I remember him playing for Man United back in the day. That's my fondest memory, of course. Record scoring goal season, I think, like 30 goals in one season, I think he scored, if I'm not mistaken. That could be somebody else, but you never know. CR7 has joined us in the party as well. We're waiting on the other guys to join in. There, though, is our race winner and the man who has finished second in the championship. It is Isotopic, and Isotopic, a great race from you. Got the hards to the end of the race. Talk us through your race.
It was a difficult race. I think I was quite lucky with CR7. He was really fast today, as usual. But I don't know what happened. I was also very lucky with the pass of Tibos. I don't know what happened, but I think he let me through. Yeah, I made the gap to Noisy and just stayed safe. I had also two warnings, so I had to stay away of the warning.
Yeah, and you did stay clear of the warnings out on track as well. You got the win in the end. But that safety car, that early safety car that came out as a result of TDB crashing, having no front wing, did that bring you into the mindset of getting onto the hards and going to the end of the race?
Actually, it was my plan to go into the pit at lap 6 to go for the hards. So, yeah, it was my strategy today. And, yeah, the safety car, it made us... made us close the gap to the front, but CR7 he made some passes really early and made the gap quite soon. And you know how it is in Singapore, it's really difficult to overtake. And yeah, I don't know what happened, but congratulations with the championship CR7.
Thanks, mate.
And there is CR7. We'll come on to him in just a second. I'll cut across the mic, though. Any questions for this topic?
Yeah, so you were saying that you had two wins, one away from a penalty. Obviously, at the end, we saw Sway showing pace closing you in. Was you getting nervous towards the end when the Sway was beginning to eat into that gap that you had to him?
Yeah, of course. He was really fast today, and yeah, I stayed a bit safe, of course, because I knew that as long as I don't get the penalty, I have a good gap. But still, you can drive. You know, time goes so fast on this track, and if you slow off just a little bit too much, then he would close the gap really soon. And so you have to find, you know. Your pace, and yeah, I saved some ERS, and yeah, I made him stay behind me, and I'm really happy about that.
And of course, not only did you manage to clinch second in the drivers, but obviously with your teammate not being here tonight, it made it extra difficult for you make some real headway in the constructors. But with the win and the issues for both of the Haas's and the McLarens, you did manage to get second, if my maths is correct. So,
Yeah, I think the Alphas maybe got this, didn't they?
I'm some quick maths. You were.
I think so. They were third and fourth, so I think maybe they won.
I'm not saying that you got second in constructors.
Yeah, yeah, I'm happy about that. Of course, it would be really nice to have Jonas also here tonight. Then we really could have a fight for the championship. But yeah, he he's on a summer holiday, so yeah, hopefully he'll be back next season.
I'm sure he'll be, if he's not in the chat now, I'm sure he'll be watching this race back and absolutely proud of the effort that you put in for the final race. James, back to you.
Yeah, my final question, because of course we haven't got a race next week. We are now on our long due summer holidays here in TTML. Looking ahead to the new game and looking ahead to the placements of the new game, obviously we haven't got access to the game yet, nobody has. But how do you feel? What are your long-term goals going forward in TTML next season?
First of all, I have to try the game. I don't know how it is. I know some people have actually access to like a demo or something like this. And Jonas, he has tried it a little bit. And he says that it's a little bit more difficult than this game. But you know, I don't know if the demo is like the game. But first of all, we need to try the game, and yeah, of course, I hope so to turn up in Division 2 for next year.
It'll be fantastic to see you in Division 2, of course, next season. Go and enjoy your evening, though.
Thank you very much.
Very welcome indeed. I've got the PSN up next to me, and next up in the party, I believe it's Noisy, if I'm not mistaken. Noisy, of course, one half of the Constructors' Champions here for Alfa Romeo, and of course, finishing, was it fourth in the end, Noisy?
It was fourth, yeah.
It was fourth. Talk us through your race, though, because it was quite an interesting battle towards the end with your teammate.
Yeah, York just let me pass because we just always work together, and I've said like if I couldn't get past Sway, I'll let him through at the end of the race. And then I just had two massive moments in the final corner. First time I almost lost it, fully back end, the back end went, I stepped out. And then the lap after, he was like, say, okay, you're taking it slower, but no, I almost like drove fully into the wall. So I was like, yeah, you go in front, I'll save some ERS. If the medium runners behind us like got up, I had a lot of ERS, so I could pull York with me. If they would catch up, and unfortunately they didn't. But we just damage control. We just controlled the race. We just drove slowly and just brought it home. We never thought this would be even possible, and it's unfortunate York can't join us because he has a lot of stuff to do tomorrow. But yeah, it's just an amazing feeling, to be honest. We worked so hard for it, and we're happy with this result. And of course, congratulations to CR7 as well for picking up the driver's title.
Thank you, mate.
That was long.
It was very long-winded. It's normally like me in terms of these commentaries, honestly. But obviously your race was really good out on track. 4th position from you. Obviously now awarded the constructors as well, alongside your teammate Yo. Must be quite a good feeling going into next season.
Yeah, it's amazing. Like previous season we came second. I was like, okay, next season we're gonna get it, and to now just get it, it's amazing. And of course, it's a massive confidence boost going into the next game. And we just hope we can place as high as possible, and preferably in the new division Premier.
Of course, and we'll come on to that, of course, in just a second. Mike, I'll come across to you. Any questions?
Yeah, it seemed like both yourself, Jorg, and Sway had an absolute whale of a time trying to get past Matt Tibos and the guys going long after the first safety car. How was it trying to get through the traffic for you?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, I was like, all right, I'm just gonna take it steady, just slow, not like go all aggressive and just lose it all. It was like I think we were still behind because CR7 was still leading. Of course, it had a little bit of luck that we won, of course. But we were just like, okay, let's just keep it slow. We're not gonna do any dumb moves to like overtake. And yeah, it was a mess a bit, but it was all clean, so no problems came from that.
Yeah, and you mentioned about CR7 being ahead at that point. I believe at that point was CR7 ahead of you. Haas were still in the lead to take the constructors, but when CR7 came into the pits, was that the moment where you was like, okay, the constructors is on, time to just full recovery now, just drive the car and get both cars home?
Yeah, we already saw he got like a 5-second penalty with Funky on the safety car, I think it was. And he had another 3-second penalty, so we were like, from that point on, we were already, okay, let's just keep it slow, steady. And then we saw him pit, and we were like, just full conservative, save everything, no risk of punctures, not even pushing so far that we can crash out, of course, except for me, because I'm not really that smart. But yeah, we were just full conservative and just safe if the medium runners would catch up.
Yeah, there was a great drive from both you and York. Shame York can't be in the party, along with the other podium finisher of Swigs. It was a great battle between the three of you at towards the end of the race.
Yeah.
Final question from me going into next season. What are your long-term goals going forward onto the new game?
Just keep the momentum and keep on growing. That's the main like goal I have. Like I didn't even start that long ago. I started competitively in like December, and I couldn't even imagine of even like being in the top 10 or something like that. And now getting constructors, we just want to keep on building on this momentum. And I think me and York are just doing perfect teamwork together. We're an amazing team. We do it perfectly together, and I hope we get in the same division next game, and just keep on working on the teamwork, which is already excellent. So yeah, I think that's like one of the main reasons that we came so far in the constructors, because we can work so good together.
And that's why you're the Constructors Champions of TTML Division 2 Season 4. Go and enjoy your evening, Noisy, because I know the Holland game's still on.
Yeah, cheers.
Very welcome indeed. And now we'll move across to CR7. Of course, he finished 8th position out on track tonight. A little bit of a disappointing race from you tonight, CR7, with the 5-second penalty and everything. But you are our TTML Division 2 Season 4 champion. It must feel good.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's my first season, so I'm really happy with the win and obviously the championship. First of all, GG on the podium, guys. And also for the Alpha that they won the Constructors, GG to them. Well, obviously going into the race, I was a bit nervous because I knew could have been my first championship, so I was like, okay, I'm gonna go calm. I'm not gonna risk anything. Then when I seen TDB on P8, I was like, okay, this is good. I started pole position, so I was like, okay, I just gotta control this race, and that's what I was trying to do, until the safety car came out, and then just mixed up the things. I was behind Matt, and then I think I made a small mistake and got throwing damage, and that just really, yeah, made my life difficult. So I then had to pit for mediums. I thought I could make it to the end on the mediums, and then I had some nice battles with kinds of Cam, Funky Chicken. Was some nice battles. I enjoyed that one. And yeah, I also asked my mate in the party if I was safe in the championship once TDB was out, because I didn't know how many points Isotopic was behind me. So once he told me I had the championship wrapped up, I was like, okay, I'm just gonna enjoy this now. So that was already my race, and yeah, I'm happy to win the championship.
More than happy to win the championship.
Yeah.
Just talk us through how consistent, though, you've been the last 3-4 races of the season. Because I'm literally amazed. I think I've said in the last 2 races or so, you should be Division 1 pace.
Yeah, well, I guess it's just the monitor I got. I got a new monitor and that just made me consistent, I guess. I was not really consistent in the first 5-6 races, and then I just, well, gave my best and got those 3 wins in a row. 4 wins, I think it is, actually, with USA. And that's really put me up then into P1, and I think just kept it clean, and that's why I won the championship.
And you did win the championship, and of obviously a really good feeling. Mike, any questions?
I was going to ask about how you got the damage, but you said you made a small mistake. But how bad was the damage? Because visually for us, we couldn't see the damage visually. As the TASA said that you had a bit of wing damage, but how bad was the damage for you?
When I looked at it, it was yellow, I'm quite sure. And I was definitely feeling the difference. The performance was just going down, especially in the quick corners. The last corner, for example, I was losing a lot of time there. I was definitely losing 4 to 5 temps, I think, per lap. So I was like, I'm just gonna pit. Because at that point I knew I was already the champion, so I just decided to go into the pits and try to enjoy the race with some nice overtakes. So I was really happy about it as well.
And also, last question. Obviously, at the end of the race, we saw your teammate and Cam get tangled up with each other, which obviously that's going to be painful for you because you were fighting for constructors at that point. But obviously, that battle with you, your teammate Cam, I believe it was Element and I believe F1 AMG and Carwin Robin there as well. I'm not quite sure. And Jack, like, what was that like? Just being absolutely in the thick of things.
Yeah, it was really intense, to be honest. I was trying to get a move done. It was really hard because it was just a DRS train. Then once my teammate got past me, I was like, all right, come on, let's get through these guys. And then the incident happened right in front of me. I was like, oh no, this can't be real, because we're obviously fighting for the championship, the constructors. And then I don't know what happened exactly, if Cam took him out or if that was just a racing incident, but it's a shame that he got taken out, that he DNF'd, and yeah, that just really lost us the constructors, I think. Because I think we were just gonna caught up on those, and we was actually quick on those mediums, so I think we could have gained some positions as well. Yeah, it's a shame.
Yeah, it definitely looked like in clear air you both had massive pace, and I'm guessing towards the end you just kind of backed off, just taking it all in.
Yeah, I was just trying to enjoy the last lap, because obviously it's the last lap probably of the game, because I don't have any league races left, so just really try to enjoy the last lap, and hopefully I can be there next season again, driving against the best.
Also, one more question. I mean, you're flying the Portuguese flag. You won Division 2. Are Portugal going to win the Euros as well?
Oh, I hope, mate. Obviously, the first game we won 3-0. I was shaking because we didn't score until the 85th minute. So I was like, "Come on, guys!" Like, I hope we win like the last time we won, because I was celebrating like mad. So if we win this season, I'm gonna go crazy too.
I've actually backed a 2016 repeat.
I hope, mate. I hope. See what happens.
Well, you never know. You never know. Of course, Portugal might be hungry for success. That's terrible fun.
Oh no.
That is disgusting. And with that, CR7, go and enjoy your evening.
Thank you, mate. You as well.
And that is the end of tonight's stream here in TTML Division 2. My puns never get old, honestly. But well done to everyone who, of course, raced out on track. Of course, well done to our race winner Isotopic and to our podium finishers and to everyone who has made this season successful. Without you guys as the drivers, without you guys as supporting us from home, wherever you are from, we will not have TTML and we will not have TTML Division 2. So I thank you for tuning in for the first 10 rounds of this season, and for all 10 rounds, I should say, of this season. Mike, I am going to come across to you, though. I'm going to ask you two things. Driver of the day and driver of the season.
Driver of the day is a very close one between Isotopic and Sway for me. But just for how well he drove today, I'm going to lean more towards Sway, which might be a bit of a controversial pick, but I'm going to go Sway.
Do you know what? I was going to agree with you until you said it was controversial. I might not agree with you now. No, I think Sway definitely gets my driver of the day. Drove a really good race, was very much under the radar, as I said in commentary, throughout the race. So Sway gets our driver of the day, his best result of the season as well, in second position. And driver of the season, who did you give it to?
Well, I mean, you can't look past the champion. You can't look past CR7. Absolutely fantastic final half of the season. I was tempted just for the joke to give it to Matt Boss, but I stayed away from it.
Matt Tibos getting driver of the season will be like England winning the Euros, honestly. It's pretty much impossible. No, CR7 driver of the season for me. Top class man, out on track, world class driving as well. Hopefully we get to see him in Division 1 or maybe in the Premier Division next season, of course, on the new game. That is it for us, of course, for TTML Division 2. Aidan Carter covered Division 3. And I have to be the bearer of bad news. You're not going to be seeing him on TTML going forward next season. An absolute stalwart of the commentary box. He will be sorely missed. You will still see him, of course, on EML, probably alongside Luke Etheridge in League 1, if I'm not mistaken. And we'll get that sorted out, of course. But Aidan, from my heart and from, I'm sure, everyone else in our commentary team, thank you. You are an absolute legend of the commentary box, and you'll be sorely missed here by everyone at TTML. Of course, he'll still be on the channel, so he's not going to be going far whatsoever. And that is it for tonight for TTML Division 2. We've got more action to come. Myself and Mike taking you through the action, of course, for TTML Division 4 tomorrow night. And if you thought this battle was tight in Division 2, just wait until you see Division 4 tomorrow night around the streets of Singapore. Division 5, of course, taking you through is James Boyle and Pariah, taking you through the action for that. But in the end, the final thing I have to say, well done Holland on getting through to the round of 16.
I'm gonna second that, and more impressed with Wales getting through to the round of 16. But
they're not mathematically done yet. You never know. Turkey might just win. Sorry, Switzerland might just win. You never know.
I am hurt and appalled that you said such tragic things right there.
You never know. They might win 5-0.
Come on, Scotland.
6-0. Who knows? Who knows? But before we get kicked off the air, we better leave the air. Thank you so much for watching here, TTML Division 2 tonight and for the 10 rounds of this season. I've been James Head, he's been Michael Edwards. Take care of yourselves, and we will see you next time.
Goodbye.